Hey, welcome back to the channel. We are so excited to have my new friend Forbes Riley herself here today, the queen of pitch. She has sold 2.5 billion in sales.
That with a B.
Billion with a B.
Whoa.
There, you guys. Tell us all about, your journey.
Okay, so move in for about a week and a half. We'll talk about my life.
Yeah, you moved into Utah for a week and a half.
Let's see, that's true. In my studio in Florida.
We were supposed to have a tour for 30 minutes, 4.5 hours
and we
later.
fell in love.
Even though she had a huge 3-day event the very next day, she kept talking with our group, sharing, talking about masterminds, going deep with people like she does.
I wonder how many millions of people have seen your face.
Oh, hundreds of millions.
Yeah, hundreds of millions.
Hundreds of millions of
I made
people.
you everywhere you go. It's like, I know you from somewhere.
That's
right?
what
It's
I
like,
get my
yeah.
entire life. I feel grateful for that, although I am on a path because now hundreds of millions could turn into a billion. And I touch a billion people. But I've been on television since I was 16. And I will say that my Jack LaLanne Power Juicer, that one infomercial, used to air in the US when infomercials were running 800 times a week. It ran for 8 years in 80 countries and sold $1 billion of product. You saw me. You've heard my voice. I go down the list. I've done 195 infomercials. It's been an interesting journey. And I will say that literally today is a full circle from my life. And I hear people say, so Forbes, what do you want to, what do you want to do next? What do you want to be? I just want to enjoy where I am because where I am is freaking cool and amazing.
Live in the moment. Yeah.
And I took a lifetime to get here. So I started out as an actress. It's all I wanted to be. I grew up without very much money and I dreamed a lot. I didn't know back then that dreaming was going to be my superpower. I can envision something and it happens. Well, now that's called, the law of attraction or the secret, I wouldn't call it, but I've been doing that my entire life. I walked into a beauty pageant, 500 girls there, and I said, one of these little girls is going to be on TV with Bob Hope on NBC. It's going to be me. And I had no reason to say that. I had no skills to do that, but I wanted it. And I truly believe about manifesting it and understanding your power of what you do when you see something. Here you are now, and how do you make the two come together? And one of the things I'm up to now, but I'm creating a thing called the Forbes Factor. And it is literally Forbes. How you can Forbes any project, and when you're successful, you come to me and go, I Forbesed it. Forbesing it used to be manifesting something, especially when no one else thought it was possible. Because I'm sure you've both told people your ideas, and they're like, oh, you're crazy. Yeah, well, that's what they do to smart people. So one, I redefine the word no. So no does not mean stop. It means never-ending opportunity. N-O. Now, here's the thing. If my son walked in, he was 5 years old. His name is Riker. Big blue eyes. He's like, Mommy, can I have a piece of candy? I said, no, it's time for dinner. Go play, and I'll come back, and I'll make you some dinner. 5 minutes later, that little boy stands with these bigger blue eyes going, Mommy, if I eat my broccoli, can I have a piece of chocolate? I'm like, no, go play. Go find a Lego, will you? I'm finishing here. A few minutes later, he's standing there again with his hands on his little hips. He's like, Mommy, I'm 5 years old and I just want a piece of candy.
Yeah.
And I said yes. Funny thing was, he didn't come back. And it was at that moment I realized that yes means stop. When you ask somebody to marry you, they say yes. You don't go ask other people. But if they say no, you're inspired to ask
Interesting.
other people. So if no means N-O, never-ending opportunity, somebody gives you a no and you're like, all right, what am I going to, you're either the wrong person that I asked. No is go.
Because it's a
is
paradigm,
go. No is
paradigm
go. I
shift
love
for people because they think a no means stop versus
That's
a
what
yes.
you're taught.
Yeah.
No, in my world means keep going. It's like, thank you for sharing. Wait, here's my other little secret though, and this is for all of you doing sales. If and when you get a no, turn to that person in that moment and say, could you tell me what would it have taken for me to get a yes?
I love
They
that.
will tell you, and if you're quick enough, sometimes you've turned that around in seconds.
Okay, so I
Fascinating.
love what you shared about no. That's amazing. But go back to I Forbesed it.
Well, it's funny about acronyms. They mean so much to me. In my early career, I was in New York City and everyone's like, so, do you have it all? And I'm like, no, I didn't have it all. And the more I kept saying that to myself, the sadder I got. And then one day I had this moment. This is, why don't you turn all on its head? All, it's A-L-L. A loving light. I have that. And now I can walk around and go, very honestly, I have it all. I've always had it all. And you're maybe not hearing it the way I'm saying it, but I'm very genuine in that. The word diet. You know what D-I-E-T is for me now and why I look the way I do? Decisions I eat today. I redefine the word mom. And you're going to love this as a mom and you're going to love this as a dad. M-O-M. Moments of memories. Dad is dedication and devotion. Sexy, S-E-X-Y, seeing excellence in yourself. I'm going to see excellence in myself because if I don't, you will never.
That's right.
So I've redefined all of these words.
I love it.
But so now Forbes, the big crescendo of my life is Forbes. When you do an event, you have to formulate the idea, right? You have to organize your thoughts. You might have to release a limiting belief that you can't do this or that people won't show up to your event.
Yeah.
Then you got to get other
Plenty.
people to believe in what you're doing. You got to do the research, make sure you have all the things lined up, and you have to start. Forbes is formulate, organize, release, believe, educate, and freaking start.
Ooh, there you go. I love that. That is brilliant.
And then tell me that you Forbesed it.
Yeah, we're gonna Forbes
we
it
do.
from
And
now
I
on
will
in.
ask you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have t-shirts,
do
we
you?
have hats. And the question
It's
is,
amazing.
I have a book called What Have You Forbes Lately? Tell me your dreams and let me get you to make them reality. That is what I am living. I can't believe that this is my life. And no joke about, I'm doing a movie in 2 weeks. I'm starring in a freaking feature film. And I hadn't in a long time. I love my acting career. One of the things I really stress that life happens for you, not to you. You don't always know it when you're going through it, but if you can hang on to that, nothing is as terrible as it seems. And I said, I think I have to do something different to raise my babies. I moved away from my then husband, who I've since been divorced from, to Florida from LA. And I full-time dove into home shopping. I then said, I need my name on a fitness product. I created a fitness product. All along that little seed of acting, I haven't been on stage, which is crazy that I've not been in a play since my kids were born and they're 20 years old. I'm a woman who Lily Tomlin let do her one-woman show. I apparently have a lot of talent in that arena that I just don't get to do. I got over the death of my dad in an original play at Laguna Playhouse because the character had lost her dad and she had a detox on stage. I'm like, man, my kids have never seen me ever do this.
And you put all this on the shelf because you're raising your babies and
You have a
stepped away.
choice.
Yeah.
Cry. You would have been a very selfish choice if I just continued to do that and didn't give my kids a better life than I had. And unfortunately, I never relied on a man to do this. My ex was great. He was a 6'6" Notre Dame football player who I thought was going to be governor of California. And he just had I think he got hit in the head one too many times and has an anger issue. And then we raised a little boy from the South Central. Started out as the Big Brother, Little Brother program. Little Dexter was as black as your jeans. My ex is got white blonde hair. He's a big white guy. And everywhere we went, Dexter was part of our world. He was best man at my wedding. He was murdered.
Oh, jeez.
Walking from a haircut to church right before his 20th birthday. My husband spent 2 years sitting on a couch. It was devastating. This is the stuff that you read about other people go through.
Yeah.
And it was pretty traumatizing. And what I did was I just focused on work. And we went our separate ways, which was, it's hard to stay together after that. And then I was miserably single for about 10 years because I had said to myself, look, I had the babies after I lost both my parents and went through 9/11. My brother-in-law was a fireman in 9/11. And we lost 9 of the guys. The firehouse that we used to stay at and hang out was a quarter mile north of the World Trade Center. All my high school friends, they all died that one day. And with no preparation, we put my brother-in-law and 4 other guys on their bicycles, 4 firemen. And we literally, 9/11, on 11/11, they left New York City on their bicycles, went to Philadelphia, and then rode their bikes 3,300 miles all the way across to Pasadena, California. We put all that together, got it fully sponsored, and it was amazing, but so traumatizing for all of us. I don't remember anything during that time. I said I wanted babies, and then so I said I wanted them. You've got them. Now you're not going to spend time with them? My whole dream was to raise these amazing kids, and I got blessed with a boy and a girl. But I've got a parenting book inside of me. I have a way that I raised these children. How to raise your babies like dogs. Now, I don't mean bad, but I used also for ESPN, I hosted the dog agility game show part. I know I've had 18,000 careers. Right.
Let's get that book done.
Yes, and I think now if
several
I...
people that can help you
You're
get
going to
that
Forbes
book
it.
done.
Well, I am going to Forbes that one because
See?
what happened was I read the book Baby Wise, which really just said you wake your babies, you feed your babies, you play with your babies, you put them down, and you do this routine all the time. Because when I was pregnant, there's a woman sitting next to me at a hair salon with her baby underneath her. And I'm like, how do you do that? Do you know that my babies were so well trained? I would take a shower. I put both the little bassinets, the little carry things in the bathtub. I would take the shower. I could see them. They were sleeping. It was fine. Then I heard somewhere the kids don't share. I said, this doesn't work for me. I'm going to teach you guys how to share. Like if you each wanted to share the same toy and you're fighting over it, I would say,
Happens a
you
lot.
play with the toy, then you get the toy, and we're going to count to 10. And we would do this at about 1 or 2 times back and forth. One kid gets really bored and walks away. And we did that over and over and
It's
over again.
really brilliant.
Thank you. And nobody
Yeah.
does this, right? This came
Right.
from my training of dogs, by understanding that dogs don't speak human. Do you ever see somebody go, Fido, you put my shoes, shame on you. He has no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
But if you do a reward system and a behavior structure, he gets it. And this is genius. And don't anybody steal this. No, but it's if you got kids, it's called the I want game. I want a cookie. I want this. I want that. Like, really? All right. So if you want a cookie, I want you guys to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And they would. It was so funny. If you want a cookie, touch your nose. If you want a cookie, touch your elbow. You have to learn body parts. You have to, as a kid, you have to teach them anyway. If you want a cookie, turn to each other and say, I love you. If you want a cookie, give each other a big hug and kiss. And if you want a cookie, come over here and give me a big hug and kiss. Say, I love you, mommy. Then you got a cookie.
Oh,
I trained my kids to say, I love you.
you're going to love them.
They love each other. You know why? I trained them to do that.
To say that.
So beautiful.
And remember.
Hey, I want to actually see,
Yeah, let's
because
hear about
she has
this.
incredible arms and
Oh,
she's so
yeah.
fit.
Thank you very much.
But we'd love to hear the story about how this works.
Husband
You
is
you
17
just
years.
shine. You shine, and it's
Anywhere
that
you
that
go.
energy you bring.
Yeah.
It's the connection you bring with people.
Can I just share something with all of you at home? I grew up a very awkward, ugly, lonely little girl who didn't have a whole lot of friends. And the fact fact that I can do this now and I'm this passionate about connecting with other people and enjoying other humans, partly it came from hitting some really low lows and really understanding that you cannot do it all alone, that friends might hurt you, but if you don't put yourself out there, you're never going to feel. I remember number one, I did a lot of self-help work, and I will tell you, I didn't know that seminars existed. I've done a lot of that, and I would highly suggest, it doesn't matter whether it's me or anyone else, get in a room, read a Tony Robbins book, hang out with some personal development people, wake up and listen to Les Brown, do things, because the average person doesn't get it. The average person also doesn't know how to eat food. So how you tell yourself who you are. I talk to people all the time and they're like, well, I'm a klutz, or I'm this, or I'm lazy, or I'm a procrastinator. Great.
Put
Tell
labels
yourself
on yourself.
Turn it around.
Why do you do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Right.
You do it because no one taught you not to do it. And that's the crazy thing. And society, by the way, will tell you, they want you to be sick and weak. Because then you buy drugs and you go to a therapist and you do all the things that
Buy all
Become
the fast
more and more
food.
dependent.
and I think the universe had just had enough of me playing small. And I wouldn't believe it. I mean, it was really, it took me a long time.
I want to see the
willing to
demo.
say
See
so.
the demo.
So crazy thing. As a
right.
fitness person, I put my name on everyone else's. I was like, I want something of my own. Well, one day I'm showing a resistance band that I was selling on television. It pops off my foot and boom, it shatters my nose. Literally, completely shatters it. And after it healed and I got my wits back, I said, I want to find something that is amazing. The second reason I do this is that my mom was always 260 pounds. I bought her health club membership. I wanted this woman to be fit and live long. She gets to the door of the health club and she won't go in. I'm like, well, come on, let's go. She said, I can't. I said, sure you can. I got a membership for you. She said, no, they're going to make fun of me and I won't know what to do and I need to leave. And she left crying and I'm standing there and I said, okay, this doesn't work for me. And I don't like saying I don't know what to do. Never say I don't know. I said, I'm going to figure out a way to find a at-home piece of fitness equipment that anybody could benefit from, especially my mom. Well, she passed away before I found this. When I touched this thing, which is based on a 2,000-year-old Chinese toy, I literally had a vision. I saw my life and I'm like, I said to the guy who showed this to me, this is the greatest fitness product on the planet. He said, no, it's an office de-stressor. Really? I said, how do I get this? He said, well, I've only sold 100,000. He said, look, if you can sell 25,000 in the first year, I will give you the company, the patent, the trademark, and you just give me a small percentage and we're done.
Whoa, that's a deal.
Everything I'd ever learned as a Broadway dancer, as a Pilates instructor, I just started writing out exercises. And everything I wrote out 14 years ago is exactly what we still do today. Give me your thumbs because you want to do this when you're sitting on a Zoom call, when you're traveling, when you can't get to a gym. So give me your thumbs to start with. Doesn't have to be thumbs. But you sit, you can't see it at home, but it's spinning. Go 10, 9, come on, 8, come on. Oh, you know what I just learned about you? That you are a little bit of an A personality, aren't you?
Yeah, very much
You have
so.
to get things right.
Yeah.
So it's funny when people touch my spin
Very
gym.
fascinating. Yeah.
Well, because you just had that energy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got to dominate this
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So when I first tried, I was like, well, it doesn't do much. It's just a string. But the real genius comes in when you wind it. And you hold your hands close together, right? And so it's pre-wound. And you give it a tug and release. Yeah, lean back a little bit more, a little bit more. That's why you have abs. Keep your feet on the
Yep.
floor. Go 10. Come on, go. Has he ever done this on the podcast before? Because I haven't done it. Now go overhead. Now here's what you're going to notice. He's going to start to sweat in just like 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's
8,
already happening.
7. Come on.
It's
Oh,
already
my, seriously.
going.
You are listening.
Yeah.
Imagine getting a sweaty workout in minutes sitting at your desk.
Yeah, great.
Somebody cuts you off on the freeway. Go, man. Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
You are definitely getting
I'm
wet.
definitely. Yeah, sure, look at this.
You take
Yeah.
it everywhere.
Yeah, wherever you travel.
Unlike everything else in the gym, it turns into a really cool piece of jewelry.
There you go.
Oh, that's amazing.
And so this is a great thing for entrepreneurs. And I was so open and so ready for them to believe in me. And I worked for 5 months. Spin gym was the #1 Google search word in the country. Forbes Riley was #3, but it wasn't good. They edited it and said bad things about whatever, and pretty much that it wasn't going to work. So when I went to Home Shopping, which is the one place I knew I could sell things, they're like, yeah, we saw the show and it didn't work. I'm like, but it does work. So if you ever had an idea where you knew in your heart that it was going to work, but nobody believed in you, hello, can you say Forbes again? So here's what happened. I woke up every morning for 3 years I went to the Screw You University. I woke up every morning going, screw. And that's all I focused on. I learned that focus is where you get success.
Yeah.
I just was going to prove them wrong. I got HSN very reluctantly to give me an order for 5,000. They were thinking it was not going to work. 34 minutes, I sold out 5,500, a 10% overage. I went on every month after that. In one of my days, one of my appearances, I sold 64,000 of these, and I've sold a couple of million of these. I got to tell you, it was worth the journey. And in fact, if you want to find, I've got a free gift for you guys. Would that be okay?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yes.
Yes. So go to www.freegift from Forbes. That's my name. The other thing I do is, how did I get this to be so successful? I harness the power of the perfect pitch. pitch. You want to get yeses in life? Understand what it means to pitch another person and get them to say yes anytime, anywhere. I don't know anyone else who teaches pitch. You pitch all day, every day. And once my entrepreneurs, and I don't care if you're the CEO, the sales team, or the guy just starting, or someone doing a network marketing company, it's not you or the product usually, it's your pitch that messes you up. And when you harness that, I will tell you, I've been teaching for the last 3 years. I have a beautiful company called Forbes Riley Media. Somebody said too, he said, Forbes, you could charge a lot for what you do. I don't. I have in fact, every Sunday I've been teaching for $19. I teach a 2-hour class. It's called democratizing. As someone who did not grow up with money, I would like it to be a level playing field, that everyone has an opportunity to meet someone like me or to find their own personal greatness. Because at the end of my life, I don't think it's how much money I have in the bank, but it's how many lives I've touched, how many families got to go on vacation, how many people were just happy with their spouses and their kids, and most of all, happy with themselves.
Love it.
Yes.
Forbes Riley. Follow her. She's amazing. A force. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate
Yes.
it. Yeah, thank you.
The title of the show is Get Sweaty with Sean.
Ooh, yes, I love it. Oh, put me in. Put me in. Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.
If any of you watching today have any doubts that your current CPA is not helping you take 100% advantage of the deductions you deserve and helping you stay compliant with the IRS, then don't hesitate to get involved with TaxHive today. You won't be disappointed.